Yesterday, one of the bigger stories was Billy Eichner and his reaction to the failure of his movie Bros at the box office. He had quite a hot take. I would call it a rather dumb take, and I'm going to show you why in a second. But he put it out there. A lot of people reacted to it, including myself. And now, a lot of the mainstream sites, such as Deadline, are jumping in and talking about it as well. And what I find funny is the way that some of these sites will twist what he said. So, there's nothing new in this article from Deadline. I just want to show you how they're spinning this. Billy Eichner slams Twitter trolls for Bros criticism, promises to tweet about movie every day to spite them. Now, he won't tweet about this movie every day. Eventually, he'll move on. But here's the thing. What are they not talking about here? First off, was anybody even trolling this movie? The first time I'd ever heard of this movie was yesterday, to be honest. I didn't really know anything about it. I think I talked about it briefly in a video I put out Saturday, and I just mentioned the box office. I didn't even really know anything about it. The first time I really even looked into this movie was yesterday so that I could talk about it, and that was mostly because of what he said, because he went out and he blamed straight people for the movie's failure, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You know why that's ridiculous? Because so many other movies that have had gay leads, or at least gay main characters, have done quite well. So he says it's phobia. That's the reason that his movie failed. And he's dead wrong. I didn't even think about this yesterday. I saw Neon from Clownfish TV talk about it, and he was absolutely right when he brought up Brokeback Mountain, which did really damn good. That movie made, like, what? Almost $100 million. Don't forget about 2018, Bohemian Rhapsody made $216 million. That's actually a really good movie. That's a really good movie. Did what Elvis did it better than Elvis. That movie sucked. This movie was actually pretty good. Then The Birdcage. That movie's from 1996. Rocket Man. That's from 2019. Made almost $100 million. I mean, there's a whole list here of movies starring gay characters. Some of them were real people, like Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody. Those starred real. Well, there's exaggerated things in those movies for sure, because all movies that are inspired by real life do that, but it disproves what he said, and it kind of shows ignorance on his part to say that, because how do you forget about these movies and you're going to go out and say people aren't ready for it? Here's the real reason that movie did awful. One, it's a rom-com. That's already a limited audience. A lot of people don't want to go see rom-coms, including me. The only time I ever got dragged to a rom-com is if it was by a woman who wanted to see it. So naturally, I'm going to go see it because, well, reasons. You know, sometimes you gotta go if the girl, because she goes and sees a bunch of Marvel movies, so it's only fair. But most women probably didn't want to see this because, well, most women want to see women in rom-coms, not two guys. And I'm not saying anything negative about gay movies. I'm just saying rom-coms are kind of a female-centric. They're a female-centric genre, and women want to see a woman falling in love and stuff. You made this movie for a very small population. It's probably not going to make big bucks, but I think a lot of the way that this was done was through the marketing. I mean, what marketing was there for this movie? I read a tweet that this movie got really big marketing, but I didn't really see anything for it. It's just not a movie that a lot of people are going to want to go see. It's not. It has nothing to do with phobia. And it's easily debunked by these movies right here. One of which I really liked. Bohemian Rhapsody is a great movie. I have that movie. If you're a Queen fan, you like Queen, that's a good movie to check out. It's just a good movie in general, too. And there's a couple movies on here. But, yeah, The Birdcage, been doing gay movies since 1996. Philadelphia, 1993. What's the oldest one on here? Is it 1993? Yeah, Philadelphia. But, yeah, I'm sure that Bros is groundbreaking. It reminds me when Simu Liu was out there, or Simu Liu, not sure how you say his name, but he was out there saying that he was the first Asian American action star. It's like, no, dude. Hold your horses. There's Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, a lot of great iconic martial artist Asians that have really just broke that genre open. But he was acting like he was the first one to ever do it. And it's like, no, man, you're not. Surprisingly, not every outlet is pulling a deadline where they're literally trying to cover up what he did. But they put all of his tweets in here, which are funny. It's funny that they do that. But then they twist it on the headline, and they actually try to encourage what he did and say that, oh, it's really everyone else, not what Billy did. It's everybody else. Forbes actually put out an article, and it was written by Scott Mendelson, which I was kind of surprised to see. But some of the stuff he says in here isn't that bad, like the fact that comedy movies have been struggling for years. Now, he skips over the fact that a lot of that has to do with woke nonsense. You can't tell a comedy anymore. Imagine trying to make a comedy that, I mean, I don't even have to go that far back, like old school. Imagine trying to tell that, show that movie today. Imagine that. You'd never be able to make that movie. Bros lacked bankable stars. I disagree with that one. You don't need a bankable star anymore. You just need good marketing. You need a good idea. You don't need big names anymore. You don't need them. In fact, they're almost kind of irrelevant. Not a lot of big movie stars left. Tom Cruise is a really good example of one of the last true movie stars. Marketing and publicity sold importance over entertainment. This I agree with. And this is he kind of doesn't call it woke, but the thing here is a lot of these movies push like, oh, this is the first this is the first that. That's not how you sell a movie. You need to actually have a movie that people want to see. They don't care that it's the first major studio same-sex rom-com. People want to see a rom-com. They want to see that. They don't care that it's the first this or that. It's just true. People want to see the movie for the movie. If it does well and it happens to be the first this or that, okay then. But entertainment should come first. The film should have opened in August. I don't know about that. Maybe. This does seem like kind of a dead period for movies. And then he puts it in here. It was just the first mainstream gay rom-com. Like, that's not going to get people to go there. And he puts in here Crazy Rich Asians, which did extremely well, right? And that was the first, I believe, Asian rom-com, but that wasn't really part of its marketing. And that movie was very successful. I've never seen that movie, but I know it did really well. And he even calls it, it still looked to casual observers like a Netflix release. Scott's going to get canceled for this. Diversity is an added value element, but it can't be the whole pitch. Yeah. I mean, they made it the whole pitch. That doesn't get people to go. So, I mean, it's weird to see old Scotty Mendelson have somewhat of a normal take here. I wonder if he'll get in trouble. Maybe he'll make, I was wrong for why it was a box office disaster. That'll be the next article. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Just really wanted to touch on this. There's a couple sites doing this, and it's not true. This guy is blaming he's blaming other people for his movie's failure. The only people that are to blame are the people behind the movie. It's not my fault that this movie failed, and it's not your fault, people. It's just the movie just made a lot of stupid mistakes. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.